Well, hello you guys. I bet you thought I'd given up on the Vue. Been doing Civic videos here lately. Well, the Civic is supposed to be the daily driver. See. So, once I got it back from the mechanic and it was in shambles, at least looks-wise, it was driving me bonkers that I have to drive something that was a hot mess. I decided to focus on getting it back where it was supposed to be before it was removed from my hands roughly 2 years ago, thanks to the previous owner blowing up the motor by oil starving it. Anyway, so today I figured I'd bring y'all a Yay Me video. I got a notification and the Junkyard had a Redline, so I got to go get parts for my little Vue. Yes, Redline bumpers and side skirts. If you guys are into Saturns at all, you know nowadays all these parts are getting more and more rare. Sherwood, I believe that's her name, Sherwood does make a replacement front bumper, but nobody produces the back. So this one was squished by a guy, girl, whoever set it down at the Junkyard. Those little wheels that they use to set things on, yeah, well, they basically used the bumper to hold the whole car up, and it was squished completely flat. I've been letting it sit out in the sun to relax, and seems to be helping. At least it's a little curved, but it's better. So I'm sure with time and a heat gun and some love, it will improve significantly. You can see the scuffing here from where the wheel was actually touching it, and this thing was bent completely flat. All this was bent completely up. It was a rough. So I went ahead and grabbed it anyway in the hopes that it could be salvaged, and so far so good. And honestly, I was thinking about it. Since my Vue has the hitch, when I put that bumper on, there is a possibility that there's going to be some conflict between the hitch and the bumper. So all might not be lost with this guy being creased there, because that might be a good excuse for me to not cry if I have to do some trimming to make everything fit together. And I had gotten a bumper previously, a Redline bumper, and it's got cracks, and it's in worse shape than this one, minus this. It's got a lot of issues in this area. I mean, this one isn't great either, but I think it even had some issues up here. But again, Redline rear bumper, worth grabbing, because a good body shop could fix it. Gentle, don't want to scratch it any more than it already is. And the sun damage on this one isn't horrible. The other one, all this paint is blistered and chunks are all coming off of it. This can easily be covered with one of the those step pads that they sell for them. Well, they don't sell them anymore. You can find them online. Chances are, looking at this one really close, y'all can't see it, but I've kind of inspected it a little bit. It looks like it may at one point have had one. Hard to say, but this does have flexing and whatnot in the paint, so it's definitely going to have to be stripped down and repainted. So I don't feel bad, seeing as how I want mine to go red, having this be a good candidate to go red. And this guy, the only issue with him, outside of just, again, there's creases and things of that nature that will have to be worked out by a good body person. But again, I believe with heat and some creative work, things like this can be taken care of. You know, some of this old stuff, you've got to caress it. I have the piece that goes there. It's supposed to be like this. It got hit, apparently, here, because all this was all folded in. At least the headlights and stuff. Sorry, as I try and maneuver. This guy doesn't want to stand up too well. There you can see here all the damage. So I think it got pushed upwards, and that's when that crease probably happened. Heck, it may have even been, I think this car had been abandoned. There was water inside of it, so it might have sat for a long while. The undercarriage did have some rust. I didn't check the front supports, but that may be why this one was abandoned. Or not abandoned, but given up on, basically. The rockers were in good shape outside of, again, they placed the holder right here. You can see the marks. It was right there, and I had to get in there. There you can see where the wheel and everything was. Those marks were me trying to pop these ones, or me getting in there with tools to pop that clip, so I could basically go like dental floss and weave it out. The back ones were fine to get the clips out on, but again, you can see the marks where they set the wheel. So, and that's squished. So I had to very carefully finagle these guys apart. I actually had to take the bottom of the fender loose to be able to, where those weave into each other, with the little, not really clips, but with these little tabs, and they kind of slot in. Yeah, I had to take the fenders loose so that I could get enough clearance. Yeah, everything's intact, to be able to get those to slide out from each other. It wasn't easy. This took the longest, getting those guys off. So, but I got them. And as y'all know, I was short a tire for the wheels when I painted them. There was just the one that I had gotten off the internet, off eBay, and I didn't have a tire for it. Well, here's my tire. Look at the tread on this. I mean, all the others were pretty well worn. This one was in great shape, so it was calling my name. In fact, my tire guy, for whatever reason, he was having trouble getting the 245, 55, 18 tire. I don't know if they're just having a glitch in that particular brand that he carries. But he couldn't get the tires, so I would have had to source them elsewhere. And I was pestering my mechanic about it to see if he had any used ones. But he's been so dang busy, hence my car, the Civic, sitting for so long. He never did get back to me, so this was the perfect present to find it. So I'll just have to get the tires swapped onto the rims that are painted, not rims, wheels. And then I'll be good to go, and then I'll have a spare, just in case I ever need it. It was the best out of the group. All of them had damage. I think this, for the most part, if I wanted a actual one to be in factory condition, there's no curbing. There's just those scratches, and I think with a little bit of creative finagling, all that could be covered up. The others had some chips and issues. I didn't really have the money to buy all of them at, you know, 45 bucks a pop. So I left the others behind. Hopefully somebody else will go there and get them. That's the pull apart in Connolly, Atlanta South. Hennico Road, I think. Anyway, so if anybody sees this and lives in Atlanta and wants to go out there, September 2024. If it's not in the same month or two, it's going to be gone by then. But anyway, so But I just got the one I needed, and then I have a spare in case anything ever happens, if I get run off the road and get a cracked wheel or something like that. The others you see here are not Redline specific, but I don't know if any of y'all noticed when I installed my roof trim piece, it was scratched up right here. Well, there were no injuries on that one. I also have little chips right here. It seems like they all have those chips. In fact, I was going to grab the one for the other side because mine has a little bit of damage. Yeah, excuse the messy garage. Right here. Not sure what happened, but it's got the chips here. They're not super noticeable, and a little bit right there. But that other one had that damage too. I don't know if it's the hood, like maybe a mechanic overflexes and it hits there, or I don't know. But they all seem to have that damage there, and that one had bad chips. So I figured I'd be no better off than I am right now. So until I find a perfect one of these for the driver's side, I'll stick with what I got. But what I do have that's been bugging me, and thanks to my buddy Cameron who told me about that these are replaceable. See how bad that looks? Got all this delamination. And this is an indoor car, mind you, and it's got all this. Couldn't believe it. I glanced over. Those, no delamination. They look brand new outside of a few little, wear marks from whatever. So I'm going to be installing those for you guys in the next video. But anyway, I just wanted to share my junkyard find and to say soon you'll be getting a video with Redline wheels on the car. So yay. And I got to decide if I want to, for hee-haws, put the rockers on to play around with the cladding. See, I love my cladding. I'm not getting rid of the cladding. So I haven't decided yet. What I may end up doing is vinyling the cladding and high gloss vinyl to match those rockers and just run everything black. I mean, it's not like it won't match the roof. Because if I run them red, I don't want the cladding red because then it just disappears. So I got to think on that, how I want to handle that. I mean, I'm not in a rush to do any of it because, money. As much as this has all been junkyard ventures with this car, it adds up quick. So I've got to be frugal, either learn how to paint or do some, finagling. I mean, as it is, I may end up keeping the, everything will go red on these, but what I may do is trim out where the brake is in the body and have the lower section be black. Don't know, haven't decided. So then I'll kind of have a red car with black bottom effects. So same thing with the back there. Again, haven't decided exactly how I want to do that, but it's an idea. In worst case, I could have it all done red and then just have those lower sections basically wrapped, so to speak, in vinyl, in black. And then if it looks horrible, then take it off. And but I think with the idea with the cladding, that'll tie in with that. I have spare cladding, but this is on the doors so well, I don't want to pull it off and put it back on and run the risk of something flying off. That's the reason why I did the whole door swap to begin with. And I really don't want to have to find another set of red door panels. Anyway, because remember, mine were scuffed up really bad. So, I don't know, things to think on. I'm not opposed to running the black on the bottom. Might be something different, you know, since it's not going to be a true red line anyway. Doing it like that might be kind of cool. So then it just looks like a ground effects package, so it doesn't offend the true Redline folks that I would make a clone. Although at this point I don't think people are going to get that twisted about a car that's nearly extinct. Don't know. Just a thought. If y'all have an opinion on it, let me know. But anyway, those were my little finds that I got yesterday. So, and thanks to shooting videos for you guys and then going back through it and looking at them, I was able to get everything off the car in like record time. I only found out about it halfway through the day and then had to book out there as fast as I could, hoping that nobody else noticed what it was and got everything pulled. And I also have got notified by someone on the forums that, or not the forums, but the Facebook group, that there's an 06 up in Norcross that's got the seats. Although it's been there since July. And I mean, we're in September now. I don't know that those seats are still there, and I really don't have the money, and I've got all these other seats. Yeah, I haven't done a video on that yet, but I have other stuff, but I don't know, Redline seats would be really cool. I don't know. Got to think on that. Definitely not doing it this weekend because I got to wrap this bad boy up. But, yep, just wanted to share that with you all. So, yay. Take care.